Hello, and welcome back to another episode of What Now? This is a podcast about figuring it out in real time where we explore the questions and the challenges that come with life after college. Okay, so for over a month now, I haven't been using my personal Instagram account, and it's honestly been such a good experience. I was pretty much just starting to feel completely different towards social media and realized it was affecting me more negatively than positively. In fact, I learned that according to the World Health Organization, mental health conditions have increased by about 13% worldwide in the last decade, and social media is one factor being studied as a contributor. And on top of that, high school and college educated women aged 18 to 34 are the predominant users for social media apps, using them for an average of 2.5 hours per day. So, today I wanted to talk about why you might need to take a social media detox, what I noticed during mine, and what the research says about the benefits. And full disclosure, I do still use Instagram for the podcast, but that's purely a business thing. If you know, you know. It feels really different. So, anyways, let's just dive right in. Okay, so first I wanted to talk about my decision to take a step back from Instagram. Basically, as the summer started to dial down, I noticed myself getting just annoyed with Instagram. After I came back from my traveling and posting and all these things, I don't know, I was kind of just done. And you guys do have to know this about me. I was the kind of person towards my last 2 years of college who posted on Instagram all the time. I love taking photos, I love taking aesthetic photos, taking pictures with my friends, and genuinely at the time I was doing it because it was fun. I didn't care about attention or anything. I basically treated my Instagram like my personal memory box. But over the summer, I started to notice more and more that my use of Instagram started to feel forced rather than me wanting to use it. I noticed myself being less and less present. I was focused on taking a picture that I knew would look good on Instagram. And granted, I do love photography, but this was not the same. It was like this feeling of being forced, like I had to take a picture. And I also noticed that watching what was going on in other people's lives was starting to bother me a lot more, especially as a post grad where you're in this uncomfortable transition period. I've noticed in general it's been easy to fall into the trap of comparison. And now on social media, it was just starting to trigger me way more than usual. And also, I started to notice that I didn't necessarily like having people that weren't in my close circle know what I was up to. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just was like, okay, I don't want them to know. Like, maybe it felt like oversharing. I'm not really sure. But, anyways, I decided to log out of my personal account. And let me tell you, I've already noticed so many benefits, and it's only been a little over a month. So, my first one was I noticed that I felt like I had more hours back in the day, which honestly was a highly humbling experience because it made me realize both how much time I was spending on the app or how much time my mind was preoccupied just thinking about what to post or stuff like that. Number two, I noticed because I was starting to feel like I had more hours in the day back, I found myself turning to my outlets and new creative outlets to fill my time. I noticed I like spending more time outside. I went back to crafts I used to love doing, even things that I just find fun that are chill, like making my Spotify playlist or going on more walks. All of a sudden, I felt like I could turn to anything and just spend more time with it. Another thing I noticed, and honestly, this was faster than I thought, but I was feeling more confident about myself, both in the way I felt about my appearance and about my overall self and like my life. For one, obviously, not seeing what other people your age are up to, people posting these curated highlight reels of their lives, of their best nights, it definitely helped me stay focused on myself and my own timeline. And I also think that I was starting to gain my self confidence back in terms of my appearance because I wasn't spending so much time looking at pictures that I wanted to post. You know, it really made me realize how much we focus on the smallest things about ourselves that no one notices. And it's purely because we're spending way too much time staring at ourselves. I remember an influencer that I follow, I think it was Lexi Hidalgo. She made this video that she posted saying that people need to remember that we were never supposed to look at ourselves in a mirror every day. We were never meant to know how we look like 24/7. Life is not about looks, it's not about that. it's just because of the digital age that we live in that this has been normalized. So, yeah, this was definitely a big one for me. And I keep noticing how I've becoming more confident because I'm spending less time caring about how I look in a picture or XYZ. And, pictures don't show what you actually look like in real life. Like, okay, models get photoshopped. Like, we don't have perfect lighting all the time. Like, these are factors that people need to consider. Kim Kardashian probably takes 200 bazillion selfies before she posts the one that she wants to post. Okay, so let's all just be nicer to ourselves. Okay, the next benefit I notice is that I feel more present in what I do, both because I don't have this need to take 100 pictures to post it on social media. Again, I always have loved photography, but right now, I decided to take pictures when I want to, not because I feel like I have to. And overall, I can just feel my brain rewiring into paying more attention to where I am, my surroundings, what I'm doing, because I no longer have this thought of Instagram in the back of my head. And I'm not like, oh my God, this would look so cute on Instagram. Oh my God, like, what picture am I going to take tonight that I can post later? Blah, 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 So I'm just like more present. The fifth one, in addition to being more present, I feel like my attention span has low key been getting a bit better. I don't feel as jittery or like I need to do things so fast all the time. I feel like I'm starting to take my time and truly try to focus on one thing at a time and like spend longer periods of time focused on one thing. For example, I feel like I've noticed before how like it's hard for me to sit through a movie. And like I feel like when I decided to lessen my social media time, delete my personal Instagram, I could actually like sit and watch a movie and like actually enjoy it? Like it's different. Okay. The second to last benefit I've noticed is that I feel like I've been a lot more creative lately. And I genuinely think this is because my brain feels more rested. I feel like I can come up with more ideas for the podcast or just in general. I'm finding more ways to come up with solutions to things or new approaches to challenges. I can't explain it 100%, but it just feels like my brain has been reset and I can just think much more clearly. And finally, the last thing I want to share that I noticed is that I feel like my circle of people, I've always really felt good about my friends and who I'm surrounded by, and I'm so grateful for all of them who are in my life. And I feel like not having Instagram solidifies who those people really are because it's so easy to stay connected with so many people on Instagram, on any social platform, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a genuine friendship. And without being on these platforms, you actually see who wants to stay up to date with what's going on in your life. And like, I've had people be like, okay, but like, what if you only reach out to people through Instagram? And like, honestly, for the most part, like, if you have my number, you can reach me. Like, if we had a conversation at some point, like, and we were kind of like we got somewhere, like, you probably have my number, you know what I mean? So like, to quote Tom Holland, if you have a problem with me, text me, and if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. And that's on period. Okay. So that is why I decided to take a break and what I learned. But now I wanted to discuss the research I found on the different signs that may indicate you need a social media detox and the benefits of it. Okay, so first I want to talk about some of the signs that I found. And I found a whole lot, so let me know if you want me to do a part 2 because I won't be able to cover everything, but here are 10 to start. Number 1, you have more envy than usual. Now, of course, jealousy is a natural human emotion and it's unavoidable when you're on social media because everyone is posting a highlight reel of their lives. But when it becomes more and more prevalent, this may be a sign you need to take a step back from the apps. Number 2, you're mindlessly checking social media apps. Okay, this one is actually very relatable, but pretty much, have you ever found yourself picking up your phone for some reason and then somehow you always end up on Instagram or on TikTok or on whatever you use? I have been guilty of this. I know we all have, and it's not something to be ashamed of, but it is a sign you should probably take a break from social media. The third thing, you struggle with time management. Basically, if social media is consuming more hours in your day than it should be, and you're not spending your time focused on other aspects of your life, this is a sign you need to take a break from it. Like I mentioned, from my experience, I felt like I gained so many hours in the day back from getting off social media, and it really did make a huge difference in my life. The fourth sign, you're not present in your day to day life. For this sign, it means, are you spending more time focusing on taking the picture of the view versus actually enjoying it? Are you taking photos of your food rather than actually eating it? Do you care about the celebration you're at, or do you just care about getting that perfect photo for your profile? Because be honest with yourself. And I am guilty of saying yes to all of these. But if this is you, then just like me, I'd suggest taking a little break. Number 5, you have more cognitive fatigue. Social media exposes us to so much information, in fact, way too much at a time, and this overload of information can cause mental exhaustion, which can lead to less focusing, delays in our decision making, not wanting to communicate, a lack of general perspective, and even more anxiety. The sixth sign, you're not taking care of your body. If you find that you're spending so much time on your phone, that you're exercising less, not eating properly, just overall not caring about how you feel physically, this is a sign that you need a break. The seventh sign, you have mood swings. If you notice that you're more irritable than usual, your patience has gotten a lot shorter, or the smallest things start triggering you, this could potentially be because of social media. The next one, you have FOMO, a classic, but also incredibly relatable. Social media is a curated view of everyone's lives, so it's natural to think that the people on your feed are always doing something so fun and cool, even though it's most likely not their day to day life. If you find that you're feeling like you're missing out on all these experiences or that you should be doing more, it might be time to log out of that account. Number 9, you're annoyed by everything you see online. Another one which I actually didn't realize but is so true. Like, if you're just done, if all the content you see is just pissing you off or frustrating you, yes, get off. And finally, the last sign, it's just not fun anymore. You may feel forced to be on social media because everyone is, and it's such an ingrained part of our culture now. But if you find that it's giving you more negatives than positives in your life, if you don't see a purpose for it, if it's just not something fun anymore, log out. I know that was the case for me. I used to, have a lot of fun and enjoy my time on social media and posting on all this and blah. And now I'm like, meh, I don't really want to. It just doesn't feel like it. I would rather just not feel like I just don't want to. I just felt like I was getting sucked into the matrix more than having actual fun with it, and I don't want to do that. So these are a few signs that you may have without realizing it. I know I did, even when I was on social media, and it didn't really bother me that much at the time. So now let's talk about the benefits of a social media detox and what you could potentially get from it. One study I read found that a digital detox can significantly reduce depressive symptoms, and they gave many reasons for it. The first was that being exposed to highlight reels of people's lives can cause social comparison stress, which can trigger the release of cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone, and one of its large roles is managing your body's stress response. So, if you do a digital detox, you may reduce your cortisol levels because your body doesn't go through the physiological stress response that can happen when engaging in negative social comparisons. Also, there can be cyberbullying and harassment on social media, which can cause depressive symptoms. So, a digital detox can help to alleviate those effects as well. And the next one, as I mentioned, social media can give us an information overload, which causes cognitive fatigue. So, taking a step back from it can allow for a restoration of cognitive resources and contribute to less depressive feelings. And the final explanation for the reduction in depressive symptoms is that a digital detox allows for us to spend more time engaging in real world interactions. Social interactions can stimulate the release of oxytocin, which is a natural hormone that can have mood regulating effects. Okay, second benefit. Another study I found read that a digital detox for young women ages 17 to 35 can lead to more appearance satisfaction and well-being. Basically, the study looked into how different detox strategies can affect young women's body image and well-being. And something that I found interesting is that even just curating the content so that users filter out appearance-focused content is a promising way to help increase appearance satisfaction without having to fully get off of the apps. The third benefit is just you have a deeper gratitude, because without comparing yourself to what others are doing or have, you feel a lot more grateful for what you do have versus what you don't have. And I personally find that practicing gratitude is such a powerful way to shift our mindset. I honestly love to do it when I'm not when I'm not in a great mood. The fourth benefit, you have more time. Like I said, I found that the minute I got off Instagram, I had my day back. A break will allow you to pick up a new hobby, take back an old hobby, get extra sleep, cook a new favorite recipe, hang out with friends, bake some cookies, you name it. Like literally anything, you just have your day back. Number 5, you have stronger emotional resilience. Something that was mentioned before, but from a different angle. Pretty much without having to engage in watching everyone's perfect highlight reel of their lives and achievements, you spend more time focusing on your path. And because of this, it makes it easier for you to navigate all the ups and downs you may face. Your mind becomes more clear without thinking of other people's lives, so you can pour that energy into navigating your own life. And finally, the last benefit of many, but I just, chose a couple for today, is that you have better connections in your real life. And this one goes back to being present. Overall, not thinking so much about what your life looks like on social media allows you to take a step back and actually see the people around you, not just through your phone, make plans, hang out, actually do something. So overall, whether you decide to delete all your social media for a week, for a month, for a year, or even better curate your content, I challenge all of you What Now podcast listeners to do a social media detox. I'm not going to lie, it might feel weird at first. And did I accidentally scroll to where Instagram was on my phone the first time I deleted it? Yes, I did. But now, after just 1 month, I genuinely feel so much more present and intentional with my time, and I love that. And who knows, maybe I'll go back on it in the future, but for now, I'm very happy where I'm at, not being on it, just using it for the podcast, where you guys should totally follow at What Now Podcast and come say hi and give me ideas for episodes you want to hear. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So before I go into my random life update, comment down below if you think you'll try a social media detox, or if you have, what your experience has been. Also, don't forget to follow the pod on whatever you listen and turn on that bell so you get notifications and are always in the know when a new episode drops. Okay, random life update. So real talk, I have been feeling the burnout lately with the job hunt. So if you're feeling the same, I totally understand. And if this makes anyone feel better that is on the search, I met with a career counselor from my university recently, and she said that overall she's noticed that the job hunt has been so much more difficult than usual for many. So don't be too hard on yourselves, because trust me, I know the struggle, and there are a lot of things that are not in our control, and our economy is not doing too hot. So, but we're going to get through this. And I know I need to personally be nicer and more caring of myself when it comes to this. So this is a reminder for you and me to be there for yourself too, because it is not easy. And yes, but we will be employed. I'm manifesting it. Okay, thanks for listening to What Now. If this episode hit home, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with a friend who's figuring things out too. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, we're all just figuring it out as we go.